I'm moving past Republican obstruction and using the executive authorities available to me as president to do what I can on my own to address the border.
That was President Biden speaking at a press conference just a short time ago after signing an executive order that tightens the U.S.-Mexico border. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney. The border security order will temporarily shut down asylum requests once the average number of daily encounters between official ports of entry tops 2,500. Now, according to one White House official, that threshold has already been met. The border will only reopen when that number falls to 1,500. White House officials also say that migrants applying for asylum without, quote, credible fear for their safety will be removed from the country. And the executive action also makes it impossible for migrants to seek asylum if they cross the border illegally.
And those who seek to come to the United States legally, for example, by making an appointment and coming to a port of entry, asylum will still be available to them, still available.
In 2018, the Trump administration tried to enact similar border restrictions, but courts blocked them at the time. The Biden administration says it already expects to defend this executive order against legal challenges. We start our local headlines this afternoon in Oregon City, where police are asking for help to find a missing woman and her 2 kids. Investigators say 35-year-old Maddie Holmes, who you see here on your screen, was last seen leaving her mom's house 2 days ago near the 900 block of South End Road. Her 2 children, 4-year-old Tegan and 5-year-old Axel, were with her at the time. Police say Holmes may be suffering from a mental health crisis. They also say she often visits area campsites, and it's believed she may be near the Tillamook National Forest in Yamhill County. Police describe Holmes as 5'3", 180 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. She drives a black 2011 Hyundai Sonata with an Oregon license plate number of 057 PUL. Anyone with information about Holmes or her kids should call Oregon City Police. Also in our headlines this afternoon, in this video we show you right here, you can see a violent confrontation between an inmate and a Clackamas County Sheriff's Sergeant. What we're showing you here, though, is just the start of this story. The inmate in that video is now suing Clackamas County, and the lawsuit also points a finger at the sheriff's office for not submitting videos that showed the use of force when this case was first submitted for review. KGW's Catherine Cook has more, but we also want to warn you that some viewers may find the video in this report hard to watch.
February 2023. Security video at the Clackamas County Jail shows what happened when deputies received Travis Barrett Craig into the booking area. Deputies had arrested Craig after a drunken fight at the Milwaukee Inn Hotel. He'd been injured, then treated and released from the hospital before going to jail. You can see from the video Craig refuses to get up, so deputies drag him across the floor. At one point, his hospital pants fall down, which is why we've blurred this video. Once up, cameras capture Craig spitting in the face of Clackamas County Sheriff Sergeant James Williams. Williams responds by slamming Craig's head into a metal shelf, then slamming him onto the ground head first, fracturing Craig's eye socket. In the use of force report he penned, Sergeant Williams writes, quote, "I was irate. I was yelling orders at Craig to stop fighting and never spit in my face." Williams also wrote that Craig spat a large amount of saliva and blood into his face, noting Craig has hepatitis C, which is transmittable through bodily fluids. In his report, Williams pointed to past incidents during which Craig allegedly spat in 2 other deputies' faces, causing them to go to the hospital. And records show on the night of this incident, before arriving to the jail, Craig spat in the face of deputies near the hotel. For that, Craig was charged with aggravated harassment. He pleaded guilty and is currently serving a 20-month prison sentence. As for what happened in the booking area, this memo from the DA's office says Sergeant Williams' use of force was reviewed and found to be within the county's use of force policies. The DA's office declined to prosecute Williams. Even so, Craig is now suing the county and jail deputies, including Williams, for excessive force. The suit accuses the sheriff's office of sweeping their actions under the rug by not following up on the case. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
We're also covering another lawsuit this afternoon. One of the young men stabbed on a MAX train last fall in a racially motivated attack is suing the city of Portland for $8 million. He claims the city was negligent, allowing the suspect, who's accused of stabbing him, out of jail before the attack happened. KGW's Alma McCarty has the latest.
In March, a judge sentenced Adrian Cummins to 18 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to attempted murder, assault, attempted robbery, and bias crime. Currently behind bars, his earliest release date set for 2040. But a new lawsuit claims the convicted felon with an active arrest warrant should have been locked up in Multnomah County Jail when he stabbed 17-year-old Damian Morin on a MAX train September 2nd of last year. First, Cummins yelled a racial slur at Damian and his friend. Then he attacked them with a knife. Damian, stabbed in the chest, nearly lost his life. Doctors found bleeding around his lungs, requiring surgery. Now, he's suing the city. The lawsuit points to 2 prior incidents involving Cummins. One, a fight on a MAX train in April 2023, where officers say they found a firearm and silencer belonging to Cummins. Second, from last July, when Cummins was accused of pulling a knife on a private security officer at Union Station. In these cases, PPB charged or cited him, but he didn't show up for court, prompting an arrest warrant. Court documents say Cummins was supposed to be arrested and held until his next scheduled appearance at the end of September. However, he was stopped by police and released twice before the MAX attack, according to the lawsuit. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Happening tomorrow, city leaders will vote on whether or not to foreclose on the building that housed the old Gordon's Fireplace Shop in Northeast Portland. The owner of that property has more than $20,000 in unpaid fines for code enforcement violations. Developers had planned to turn the building into an apartment complex with some businesses inside as well, but rising construction costs, permits, and other things like graffiti and trash held things up. Developers said they would start the project a few months ago, around February, but now they say the owners are trying to find financing. All right, quick reminder here before we check in with Rod Hill in the Weather Center. The next few days are certainly going to be busy ones for Portland's Rose Festival. Tomorrow afternoon, between 1 and 3, the Junior Parade will make its way along Northeast Sandy Boulevard. Also happening tomorrow, Coast Guard, Navy, and Royal Canadian Navy ships will start to arrive in downtown Portland for Fleet Week. So that means lots of bridge lifts. Bridge lifts will happen between 2 and 5 tomorrow afternoon, so drivers should definitely expect delays. TriMet says several bus and MAX lines will also be delayed, so they're going to run shuttle buses. And then Saturday will be a big day as well, with the Grand Floral Parade happening on the east side of town between 10 a.m. and noon. You can find more details on these and other Rose Festival events and the potential traffic impacts at KGW.com. Let's talk about weather impacts, Rod Hill. How might the weather impact these events?
It's going to look a lot different tomorrow. In fact, a complete flip-flop from what we have right now. So confidence is still high that after any early cloudiness, tomorrow will go on to be sunny. And tomorrow's sunny forecast will then stay that way Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So starting tomorrow, all of your Rose Festival activities will be under blue skies. Warming temperatures will be a bit of a concern. Comfortable tomorrow, 78, 85 Thursday, but there's the 91 on Friday and a humid 88 degrees on Saturday, followed by a nice cool down on Sunday. The one advisory we have at noon is this one for wind. This is on the Washington side of the Columbia from Wishram up through Goldendale. West wind gust of 50 miles per hour is why the advisory has been issued. That advisory set to expire at 8 o'clock this evening. It has been a very dark, cloudy day. No sun breaks that I've noticed on any of our cameras. It's been wetter overall up in Washington than we have been here in Oregon, but you can see the thick clouds still coming onshore, so it looks like we're a ways out from seeing any thinning of the cloud cover, and this is mostly light rain showers that have been trying to work across our region. Cloudy up the coast, 57, that's Lincoln City's Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. Raindrops on the lens up at the Mount Hood Oregon Resort in Welch's at 1,500 feet. Downtown, we haven't seen much rain. It's mostly just been cloudy, but we'll keep that shower chance alive into the evening hours. 62 right now, today's high 69. Gray, and more gray, just like my hair, Drew.
All right, well put there, Rodney Hill. We'll see you later here during the news at noon. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler and Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson released the final version of their homeless response plan. So some of the key goals here include sheltering or housing an additional 2,700 people who are living on the street, increasing shelter capacity by 40%, boosting the availability of affordable housing, and opening up a 24-hour drop-off sobering center. County commissioners and Portland City Council are set to vote on this plan next month. KGW's Daisy Caballero will have more on the story coming up in our newscasts later this evening. In less than a month, the city of Portland will start testing out part of its new form of government that officially goes into effect next year. One of the key changes here is taking the day-to-day running of city bureaus out of the hands of politicians. KGW's Pat Doris has more.
Part of the changes are already taking place. Commissioners have been appointing deputy city administrators to oversee the bureaus, and while the commissioners will still technically be in charge during the trial period, they're kind of expected to be hands-off. Mike Jordan is the interim city commissioner leading this transition. He admits the change in reporting structure will take time for everyone to get used to, but he thinks the new structure will make a big difference when it comes to accountability.
And I guarantee you, with a mayor and a city council who both can remove the city administrator on their own, the mayor unilaterally, the council with a 9-vote majority can remove the administrator, they're going to be holding what the elected officials want to get done in the city right in their rearview mirror all the time while they're trying to change and operate. So they will be held accountable. Therefore, they will hold everybody else accountable for getting the work done in a much more effective way than maybe we've been able to in the past.
It will be the mayor's job to hire that city administrator, so Jordan recommends Portland voters really keep that in mind when choosing the new mayor in the fall. I talked in depth with Jordan about the big challenges of the transition and how this will change things for city employees. You can catch up on all my reports with him in the story section of the KGW YouTube channel.